I watched my daughter stand at her husband's bedside last year, holding his hand while the machine did his breathing. She looked at me across that hospital room with a question I have seen 1,000 times. Is this what love is supposed to feel like? This exhausted, this scared, this alone? I am 103 years old. My name is Eloise. I have buried every single person I ever loved, including my husband Edmund, who has been gone for 41 years. And before I leave this world, I need to tell you 5 things about love that nobody tells you until it is too late. Things I paid for with a century of living and losing. Because if you have ever wondered whether what you are feeling is actually love or just the memory of it, subscribe now. I will not be here much longer, and these 5 truths took me 100 years to learn. Number 1, love is not a feeling. It is a decision you make when the feeling has died. Let me tell you about the morning I realized I could not remember the last time Edmund made me laugh. I was 34 years old, standing at the kitchen sink, and I realized the electricity was gone. I looked at this man at the breakfast table and felt nothing extraordinary. Just a human being with bad breath. And somewhere deep in my chest, a whisper, is this all it is? That is the morning most people leave. They call it falling out of love. What they are actually doing is refusing to make a choice. I watched 3 friends chase the spark into new marriages. 5 years later, same empty feeling, different man, same silence. Love is not the racing heart. That was just the opening scene. Love is what you build when the feeling has died. It is the decision you make every morning to choose this person on purpose, even when every part of you would rather not. Edmund and I had winter so cold between us, I could have walked away. But I looked at this imperfect, difficult man, and I chose him. Not because the feeling told me to, because I decided that who I was going to be was someone who chose him. The feeling came back. It always came back. But it came back because I chose, not the other way around. Number 2, love is small things done without witnesses, not grand gestures everyone sees. Edmund never bought me flowers in 61 years of marriage. Not once. But every morning for 61 years, he set my coffee cup on the left side of the saucer, handle facing right, exactly the way I liked it. Just did it. Every single morning. I only told him I had noticed 3 months before he died. He cried. A man of 87, sitting at that kitchen table, weeping because after 61 years of a small, quiet act of love, somebody had finally seen it. That coffee cup mattered more than every bouquet I never got. You want to know if someone loves you? Look at what they do on a Tuesday morning when nobody is watching. That is the language of love. Number 3, love is staying ugly together, not just beautiful together. Edmund's hands in the hospital were covered in age spots, swollen, thin as paper. He looked at me and said, "You do not have to stay." As if the man who watched me age did not know I chose to be there. The world will tell you that beauty is required for desire. 100 years of living tells you that is wrong. I have seen couples in their 90s hold hands with fierce tenderness, not because they still look the way they once did, because they survived things together that would have destroyed lesser people. You do not know someone when you are young and beautiful together. You know someone when you are old and frightened together, and they do not leave. When your body fails and your mind forgets and your dignity disappears and the person who chose you is still there, still choosing you ugly. That is not the cost of love. That is the fullness of it. Number 4, love is caring for someone who no longer knows your name. This is the one nobody talks about. Edmund had 6 months when he did not always remember who I was. 60 years of a man knowing every version of your face. And then one morning, he looked at me from across the room and said, politely, like I was a stranger, "Can I help you with something?" I walked to the bathroom. I sat on the floor. I wept like I had not wept since my mother died. Then I stood up, washed my face, went back into that room, sat beside him, took his hand, told him my name, how we met, the night our daughter was born. Some days the stories brought him back. Some days they did not. But I told them anyway. Because love at its deepest is not about being recognized. It is about continuing to show up for someone, even when the showing up gives you nothing back. Even when the witness to your whole life can no longer witness it. My daughter asked, why tell him stories he will not remember tomorrow? I said, because he deserves to know who he is, especially when he cannot remember. That is not tragedy. That is the highest form of love I have ever seen. Tell me in the comments, have you ever loved someone who could not love you back the same way anymore? Because of age or illness or distance? Write their name below. Just their name. Let them be witnessed here. Number 5. Love is what remains after everything else has been taken. Edmund has been gone for 41 years. He has never left this house. I feel him in the morning when light hits the kitchen window. I hear him in songs. I still set 2 cups out before I catch myself. Grief is not the price of love. Grief is the proof. It is the evidence that what you built together was real, that it mattered, that it left a shape in the world that does not fill back in when the person is gone. Write in the comments. Tell me about your coffee cup moment. Tell me about the person who chose you ugly. And subscribe. Not for me. I am 103. I do not need the numbers. Do it so the person crying at 2 a.m. finds this before it is too late. One tap. Do it for your Edmund. Do it now.